What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new DeFi video. Things have really been starting to pop off with Jupiter in the last month. I'm sure you guys know if you're a part of the Solana ecosystem. For those of you who don't know already, Jupiter is a swap aggregator on Solana. So it takes all of the different market makers on Solana and finds you the cheapest fees and the best prices for both the tokens when you're making these swaps. Just about everybody uses it. I wasn't even going to explain what it is because literally everyone that I know who's used Solana uses Jupiter. But they're doing a really highly anticipated airdrop. It's coming out on the 31st. I've been waiting for it for a long time. I think it's probably going to be the biggest airdrop that's ever happened on Solana. We'll see. I'm trying not to keep my hopes too high, but that's just what everything's pointing at right now. The last airdrop was the biggest one was probably Jito, and you would have gotten airdropped at the time if you sold like between $4,000 and $6,000 USD on minimum allocation. So even if we make close to $1,000 on JUP, that's going to be insane. And that's only a fifth of what you would have gotten in the Jito airdrop. So 50% is going to be managed by the team, 50% is going to be distributed to the community, so 40% will be to the 4 rounds of airdrops. And they've already said, like Meow, the developer of JUP, has already said that they're going to be doing more than one JUPuary. So what I imagine will happen is that there's going to be 4 airdrops in the next 4 years. So every January is going to be a JUPuary, where whoever used Jupiter or contributed to the ecosystem in that past year will get eligible for that JUPuary airdrop. It'll probably happen every year on January 31st. So most likely on the 31st, 10% of this 40% is going to go to that original airdrop. And it's also important to know that 10% of it is going to go to liquidity provision as well. We're going to talk about this a little bit towards the end of the video. And here's the tweet from like mid-January. This one, Meow officially announced that it's going to be on the 31st of January, 10 a.m. EST. You guys can read the rest of this thread if you'd like to get a little bit more information on it. It's pretty long, so I don't want to go through all of it, but link is in the description of all the Twitter posts I'm going to be talking about in this video. So you can already check your JUP allocation. You've been able to check it for the past month if you haven't already seen if you're eligible for Jupiter or not. If you use it since like before November 2023, if you use Jupiter, then you'll probably be eligible for the airdrop. Just go ahead and go to the link in the description, or it's airdrop.jup.ag, and you connect your wallet. You'll be able to see how much you're eligible for. Full transparency, I'm getting like $14.50 on one wallet. It's only tier 4. I think the minimum you can get is like 200 or 400, so I'm not getting anything too crazy. I see some guys on Twitter with like 100,000 JUP, but I think this is still going to be, a couple bucks for sure. So if you're eligible for the airdrop already, you can actually sell it early. I made a video on this the other day. You can sell your airdrop allocations or buy airdrop allocations early on this website called Whales Market. If you want to see my full video on it, check that out. I'll put the little annotation on the top right. But you can see right now Jupiter's trading at just under 50 cents. When we were watching Whales Market a couple weeks ago, I think the highest I seen it at was like 75 cents. So that's pretty good. If you're getting 1,000 JUP airdrop to you, you'll get even at this price, you'll be getting $500 USD. So that's pretty sweet. But yeah, you can do a lot with Whales Markets. You can if you don't have any Jupiter allocation, and you think 40 cents, 50 cents is a good price, then you can go on Whales Market and buy some of the Jupiter allocation early. And whoever is on the other end of the trade that's getting airdrop JUP, they'll just send it to you the day of the airdrop. And you can see the selling price is a little bit cheaper, so it's selling at 46 cents a piece right now if you want to sell your Jupiter early. Me personally, I'm not going to be using Whales Market for Jupiter. I'm just going to be waiting until the airdrop happens. Alright, so now we've covered the JUP airdrop itself. I think a lot of people already know all this information, but I just wanted to cover it anyways. Now we're going to be talking about the WEN airdrop, which is happening tomorrow at 10 a.m. EST, which is the reason why I'm making this video today. I wanted to make it with some urgency, just so you guys are fully up to date and you can see what I plan to do with all the potential liquidity that's going to be coming tomorrow with this WEN drop. So Meow just dropped this tweet earlier today, the creator of Jupiter, talking about WEN culture. This is basically a pre-airdrop that's going to be happening before JUP, because they're creating a Launchpad for other projects to drop their token on Jupiter, which is going to be really cool. But they're testing that out by dropping their own meme coin based off of a tweet that Meow did a couple weeks ago. So you can see last month he did a tribute to all of the WEN boys in Discord. You can't see the picture that the Twitter post is messed up for some reason, but you can see it here. He wrote a poem to all the WEN bros, to all the people who are just asking him repeatedly when the airdrop's going to happen, and that's the only reason they're there. So he wrote a little bit of a poem for them. I think it's pretty funny. You can check that out. But basically, they're dropping a token with Oval's NFT. You can see it that the NFT is on Oval's website. So this is a fractionalization of a single NFT. So he made the WEN poem, turned that WEN poem into an NFT, and now it's getting fractionalized into like a million, billion, or a trillion. I think I heard that it's a trillion tokens, and that'll be airdropped to the users. So if you scroll down on the thread here, you can see all the links. There's a website, there's the Launchpad website, there's a Twitter for the WEN coin. If we go over to the WEN website here, we can see a little bit more information on it. Pretty much everything you can see on the tweet. You can see that we're getting airdropped 70% of it, and it says in the tweet as well. I didn't scroll past that part. You can check it out for yourself after. But everybody is getting the exact same allocation. So either you're getting like 650,000 WEN token, or you're getting 0. So it's all equally distributed. Doesn't matter if you're a whale. Doesn't matter if you've used Jupiter a couple times. Everyone's getting the same allocation, which is really nice. This is where you can go and check your allocation. So everyone's getting this exact same allocation here, or it'll be 0. And you can see the airdrop is in 20 hours. It's like 2 p.m. right now. It's happening tomorrow at 10 a.m. EST. So this is going to be pretty sweet, guys. There's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of things that you can think of when there's something like this happening, because there's going to be so much liquidity. There's going to be so many users on Solana tomorrow. A ton of money moving around. So it's good to get creative and think how you can make the most money possible tomorrow with all of this liquidity coming in. I mentioned earlier a little bit about liquidity providing and the opportunity there. So I'm going to be definitely keeping an eye on where I can provide liquidity for WEN token tomorrow, because there's going to be so much activity with all the swaps, people claiming, people buying, people selling. So I'm going to see what that looks like tomorrow. Keep an eye out, see if there's some really high yields on liquidity pools. I'll be keeping an eye on Meteora, because they work so closely with Jupiter, and we'll see if there's a liquidity pool on here tomorrow that's worth getting into. So I have a plan that I've set up for how I'm going to sell my WEN token. You should always have a plan like this set before something like this happens. So like, for example, I already have my plans set for how I'm going to sell my Bitcoin and how I'm going to sell all my crypto in like 2025, because when everything is going crazy in 2025, it's going to be peak euphoria. It's going to be a lot harder to make like sound long-term decisions when all that stuff's going on. So I've just made the decisions on how I'm going to sell now. I'm doing the same thing with WEN. I'm doing the same thing with JUP. I already know exactly how much I'm going to be selling and when I'm going to be selling it, what's going to make me want to sell it. So with WEN, I'm going to be selling 50% of my allocation immediately. I probably will buy some at the launch, so this is a little bit after the launch. Sell 50% of it immediately, no matter what, and then I'm going to DCA out 30% slowly. So I'll probably do that over maybe a day or two, just because the market's going to be so volatile in those first few days, and just from what I've seen based on price action on other tokens that have been recently airdropped. And then I'm going to provide liquidity on 20%, try and get some money off of those fees, and then I'm going to hold that mid to long term, but I'm still going to eventually sell it and rotate it into other SOL. So when people see these strategies, like I'm only going to hold 20%, they think that that's like a bearish perspective. Definitely not. I am bullish on WEN, but at the end of the day, the whole point of me doing any of these things, any of these plays that I talk about, the whole point of it, you have to remember, is I'm not doing it to get more WEN. I'm doing it to get more Solana. Every play that I do on Solana especially gets rotated into SOL, and 2025 comes, maybe it'll get rotated into USDC, depending on how much I make off of each play, right? And my plan for selling JUP is basically going to be the same. I might tweak the numbers a little bit. I might sell only 40% immediately, DCA out 40%. It really just depends what the token launches at and how much my portfolio grows. Something to keep in mind as well is this airdrop is going to be really big for some people. So even if you're super bullish on JUP, but your portfolio is worth $1,000 and you get airdropped another $1,000 worth of JUP, then your portfolio is sitting at 50% JUP, which is just not something that you want. You want to have most of your portfolio in like a solid L1 like Solana. So at least I would recommend at least selling enough JUP until your portfolio allocation is healthy. Anyways, guys, that's it for today's video. Make sure to follow me if you want to see some more informative and concise DeFi videos. I'm going to be posting every few days, keeping you guys in the loop for everything. If you want to see the links for any of the websites I mentioned in this video, just check the links in the description. But thank you guys so much for watching once again, and take care.